What's impressed you the most during this winning streak?
Man, I'm like a broken record, but that's actually good coaching. Our guys want to get better. Like, they want to get better. It's actually super fun. Like, our guys really want to get better. We lost, we lost a lot of games early, but we lost those games. We lost the South Dakota and UVU games, which are two devastating games for us. Just, and after that, we kind of had some heart-to-heart talks that were really honest, which is super dangerous, I think, for a team. I think it can be dangerous. I think it's a little scary. I've actually never done it before, where we sat around and we're like, "Hey guys, we're not very good. We're just not very good." And we thought about it a lot and talked about it a lot, about like how we're going to approach that. And finally, we just got to the point of like, hey, when we do that a lot, like when all the pitches are, you're not convinced about a certain pitch, it's just like, hey, let's just be really like brutally honest, right? And I think a lot of locker rooms, a lot of teams that could have destroyed, but it didn't destroy our team. Like, it was kind of this idea about, hey, we're not very good right now. Let's just own it. Let's take ownership of that. Like, take ownership of where we are, and a credit to our guys, man, because they have owned it, and we still have a long way to go to become a good team. But in the meantime, they've come every day and said, you know what, we know who we are, and let's get better. And they're still doing that yesterday and today, and it's pretty special. Like, it's actually super fun. It's a little bit of a new experience for me, but I love it. So.
Do you think that was the turning point, that conversation, or was there a moment on the court where you felt like we turned a corner?
Well, no. I think we still have moments on the court every game where we're like, I don't know what's happening out here, but I think it's 100% a turning, not a turning point, because we weren't in a bad place. It was just like we could have gone to a really bad place, right? And these guys didn't. They're like, hey, we know who we are. We're going to own it, and we're going to grow. And I think a lot of times, I'll tell you what, like, it's a life lesson that I'll double down on with these guys over and over and over again, because I think most of the time, for most of us in our own lives and everything we do, we want to make excuses for not being good right now, or we want to blame somebody else, or we want to do it. That is a life lesson, and I think you have a chance to grow when you own it. And these guys have been brilliant over the last month about being courageous enough and honest enough to own it, and that ownership is what allows them now to get better. It's awesome.
How challenging has it been? It's a new challenge for you, but how challenging has it been to not have a team at this moment that's maybe in the mix nationally? Because the first 3 years, that's been the things just striving for big goals.
Yeah. So for me, it's been, for us right now, that's a huge distraction, which normally that chase has been, a focus for us. It's something we talk about and build on and feed ourselves on and feed the team on and everything else. But for right now, we're purposely trying to spend no time there, because we're not in that conversation. And so that's a lot of, you always want to, it's just a race to being constructive. When you lose a game, when something goes bad, it's for us, it's like devastating, and it's anguish, and it's awful, and you can waste a lot of really valuable time feeling sorry for yourself and being frustrated, being mad, and trying to blame and do all this stuff. Or you can race to constructive as soon as you can and use that time, right? And so for us, we have allocated zero time to talking about that right now on purpose, because we have a lot of other stuff we have to be doing. And so we just don't. It's not a topic of conversation. It's not something we talk about. We have the one thing we've started talking about nationally is we're in the top 10 longest winning streaks in the country right now, thanks to Purdue losing last night. We were number 11, now we're number 10. And so that's super fun for us, and so we're talking about that because that's something that's really constructive. But in terms of the national conversation, the metrics, we know we're not in it right now, and we know our only focus is to get better. And if we stay focused there, then maybe we could get in it maybe we could find ourselves there if we can keep getting better. So, and we might have to backdoor our way in there, right? But talking about it's going to be a waste of time for us right now. Right now, we got to work on it, and that's what these guys are doing. So it's very different for sure. But I don't know, guys. I'm enjoying it. Like it's super interesting.
In the process of owning where you were there certain guys on the team that stepped forward to kind of show the way to others who may not have gone through that process before?
Yeah, it was a super hard time because we didn't really have. We had just lost Spence, and so we were just in this. I mean, we don't have a lot of veteran guys walking around anyway, but so it was. We just had to go kind of figure it out all together, right? I haven't spent a lot of time in that space either. And so it's not like I'm a, studied veteran on dealing with that. And so I think it was more of us collectively just kind of in a circle look at each other and be, okay, let's dig ourselves out and let's get better.
Why do you think Spence was able to come back from
I will
injury?
add to that real quick. I will say the leading thing was these guys' character, right? So that's where we found our leadership, was their insides actually was what probably has helped us kind of keep focused on the right things, was the guys' innate character and their leadership skills as a group, right? That I think that really showed. So
why do you think Spence was able to just kind of slide back in like he had never left?
It's super interesting. We talked about it, right? We talked about it before. I think somebody asked me the question about, like, are you nervous about moving Spence in? And I was really nervous because we had to go rediscover a new, we'd gone on this journey of losing those 2 games without him, which it was a major reason why we lost those 2 games, because the one veteran presence we had was gone, right? And then rediscovering ourselves, we did all that without him, right? And so I think we had run off 5 straight, including some huge wins, and so I was nervous, but at the same time, and I knew it beforehand, every time I had put Spence in a game, every single time, it was just like he just ended up staying there. And sure enough, we put him in the game at Pacific, and he just ends up staying there, right? And he's a special player that way, because the things that I value a lot that are like stabilizing, that makes me leave guys on the floor, Spence is like the blueprint for it, and he's been really terrific.
What's the latest return timeline for Gnabry?
I don't know. He actually went through a full practice day for the first time, and so I'm super excited about that. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. Again, it's this kind of thing where we're holding our breath, because it's just a one-shot deal and you're out, right? Meaning one hit the wrong way, and so I don't know. We kind of wait and see here. It's I'm still telling him he's not allowed to use his hands on defense. He's not allowed to go rebound anything. He's really the only thing he's allowed to do is run around and shoot, and so we'll need him to be capable of doing more than that. When he comes back, although that will be super helpful.
Spencer is always going to be important regardless, but is the way he's important to this team different with the team he's come back to than versus the team he was with before
Yes,
injury?
so much different. In his first 2 years, he was a luxury, meaning he was a really important piece. That he was a really special piece. It was like, hey, we can focus on other stuff because we know he'll take care of that thing. And now he's an example that we point everybody else to, right? And also on this team, like in the previous years, we've had so many guys and so many different things that we did that our guys had confidence in, that they were like, well, we know he's going to do this, and we know that this is going to work, and we know that we're really good at this. And this team kind of started ended up in a space where we didn't really have anything that the guys, the locker room was just like, that would ease their anxiety. But like, hey, I know that I can believe in this. I know I can have confidence in this. And Spence is that for us, right? I think he puts all the guys at ease, because it'd be like, we know he's going to bring A, B, and C to the game. And just knowing that piece, I think, helps with everybody's confidence. So he's coming to this huge, calming presence for us, this huge confidence little slot for us. He's doing a lot for this team, a lot.
LMU is a team that looked great against Portland, and then 2 nights later they lose at Pacific. What do you know about this team through the 2 conference games at least?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're super veteran. They're incredibly physical. You know, they're shooting the ball at a great clip. They're 38+% from the three-point line, shooting a lot of threes. They're playing really, really hard. They're really versatile. I mean, you know, they're at the 3 and 4. They're playing guys that are collectively shooting 38%, 43 and 32% from the three-point line on a lot of threes, and they're like 6'8", 250 pounds, and like beating guards off the bounce, right? So, this Cam Shelton is a veteran point guard who's been through a lot, and he's playing at an elite level right now. They're a good team. I think everybody in the league was choose my words carefully, but their performance at Portland, with Robertson was so overwhelming, and maybe it was a little, and I think they had won 5 or 6 at that point, and it's hard to win a lot of games because it changes the way you think about things. So. For whatever, I think Pacific played great, so whatever happened there, but they're a really, really, really good basketball team.
What has Stan meant to that program coming in?
Yeah, he's bringing a ton of energy. He's bringing a ton of energy and intensity, and some relentless nature to it. They had huge expectations last year, and things kind of went awry for a bunch of reasons, some injuries and whatnot, but he's kind of kept his head down and keep pushing, and the program's getting better. And they're a force to be reckoned with in this league right now. They're a good team.
All the focus, I'm sure, on LMU, but Saturday you got San Diego, Steve Lavin,
Yeah.
well known in hoops. Have you
Yeah.
ever crossed paths with Lavin?
Yeah.
Or had interactions with
I
him?
mean, he's so great. He's been in the business for a long time. Obviously, has won at the highest level, and it was a great hire by San Diego. I think he's going to do an incredible job there. He's already recruited really, really well. Their talent level has taken a massive step forward. They're new and they're trying to figure some things out, and they've had huge wins and some losses that are that they're not happy about. But he's a big time coach, and he joins the incredible. I mean, you think about it, you put him with Lorenzo and Mark Few and Herb Sendek and Randy, and I mean, he just is. That coaching deal in this league is pretty incredible.
2 more questions.
You have, I was reading the WCC notes, said something about in the 7-game win streak, you've had 9 guys scoring double figures, different guys. What does that tell you about what's happening on the offensive end?
Well, I think the guys are trying to. I think they're trying to share the ball. I think they're trying to work for each other. It also tells you that you don't have, it tells you that, you have to do it by committee, right? And that's a good thing for us. We're going to use that as a strength, and it's actually a fun way to play. It's, it is. It's. I think it's a great thing for a locker room because everybody has to believe that they're going to get their chances, right? That they're going to have their moments, and moments mean a lot. It also probably says that we haven't really. We're still a long way from really finding ourselves offensively. So it's a mixed bag.
3-point shooting. How are you feeling about that phase of the game right now with this team?
I wish we were shooting better, but I'm super excited that we're winning games and without shooting well. And I do believe that this team has the capacity to make shots, and I think we will as the season goes on. I think we're going to shoot better. I told the guys before Pacific I had a dream that we finished the season shooting 35% as a team from the three-point line, which would mean we'd shoot 40 the rest of the way. And I don't know. I'm a dreamer. Let's go.
Darnell, last one.
Foose had 7 turnovers in the last game. What sort of things do you need to talk to him about in order to handle those double teams and monsters and things that are coming at him?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So, Foose is ever since the Butler and Dayton games in the Bahamas, he's become the number one focus of every team that we play. I mean, he's the headliner and probably the B line and the C line in terms of the scout, and so that's a learning process for him. Last year he was not. Last year he was, the third or fourth or sometimes the second guy, but he was never the first guy on a scout ever, because Alex Barcelo demanded so much attention. And so that's what you do as you grow into a starring role, is you have new challenges. He doesn't get to come play like he did last year. He has to play way different, and so that's been a growing challenge for him. So we talked to him. We actually have 4 things that we're talking to him about. We're talking about staying simple. We're talking about really so simple is just making simple, quick decisions right now, because he's playing in a crowd every single possession, which has not been the case in the past. And so making the simple play, early play, is really important. So we've done breakdowns the last couple of days of just letting him see what that, and he's been spectacular in practice the last couple of days. We've talked about being strong. He's playing in a crowd. There's hands that he can't see, and he's got to be ball strong. That's super important. We talked to him about his balance. So we're seeing that there's some percentage of these turnovers happen because as he's pivoting, he's lifting up, showing the ball, and kind of losing his strength. And he needs to kind of stay low and power through it. He's really good at doing that. That's super important. The last thing is his vision. He's been turning down kind of some middle vision stuff as he's responded to kind of this chaos that's around him, and he needs to use his vision as number one focus. So that's a really specific answer, but those are the 4 things that we're really spending time on him in film the last couple of days and trying to execute in practice. And he's been unbelievable. And one of the things that you learn as your role increases and the focus on you defensively increases, for sure, is that you have to punish teams for bringing extra bodies to you. And his instinct, because he wants so badly to help this team, has been like, I got to play through all the extra bodies and still do what I did last year, when that's actually not the answer. The answer is he needs to punish them by being, hey, if you bring 2 bodies, you give me a free power play, and we're going to punish you. The rest of the team's going to punish you. And when you do that, then all of a sudden bodies don't come as fast and they don't come as many. So that's the order that it has to be in. If you score through a double team, that's just encourage the team to bring a 3rd player and a 4th player and a 5th player, right? And so you got to work it backwards, and that's all part of the really exhilarating process of these guys growing into these places. Is, it's easy to talk about and it's harder to understand, and then it's really hard to execute in real time. And so he's making that progress. But I mean, what a stud he is! He's incredible. How about that for a long answer? Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here, guys.